It all started on a chilly January morning with a GPS in hand and a goal in mind. Through the pouring rain and flashes of lightning, they pushed forward, determined not to quit. On the final day, standing atop a snowy hill, they found their last cache and felt the weight of accomplishment. Back home, the coin took its place, a reminder of every challenge and every victory.
Hey, that's our
Wow,
intro.
that was
Hi, Tim. How are you? So we didn't have a song tonight. So welcome to Challenge Talk. So you know where you are. And we are a part of the Geocache Talk Network. You can watch the show live on the second Tuesday of each month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube or Facebook to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show later on your favorite podcast player or YouTube.
You know, we should really listen to that intro before we click and go live. But
Whoops.
anyway, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
We don't often get to say that because we're the second Tuesday in the month, and this is about as late as we can be for the second Tuesday in the month.
Yeah, right? Almost,
So,
yeah.
But tonight we have an absolutely dynamite show for you. We are going to explore the year 2000 caches. We're going to continue that exploration, and tonight is July.
And we've got some great guests for helping us access some of those July caches. Stay tuned. It's going to be great. We also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. So, excuse me, I darted my eyes. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com, and you could be a winner.
Later on in the show, we'll play our special game exclusively for the live audience, the Wheel of Challenges. So, listen live, get your email app ready, and follow the instructions when the time comes so you can have a chance at winning tonight's grand prize.
And at the end of the show, we'll highlight some of the challenge caches you found, and someone will win our monthly giveaway. So hello, Tim. Welcome.
Hello,
Happy 2026.
Yeah.
And let's catch up. How's your month been?
It's been, well, actually, it's kind of like my month is off to a slow start, but 2025 was an awesome year for me. I was so fortunate to attend so many events. I attended 178 events in 2025.
In 2025? Okay, so you got
Yeah.
that geocaching charted email with all your stats
Yep.
in it. And
more than that, I hosted 7 CCEs, and I got a shout out to my friends who sent me an adoption request for many of those. And I have done now 12 CCEs in my career.
That's
which
awesome.
marks me as #1 in the world.
That's so fun. Who would have thought?
It's
you
not
just
something
you
I
just
try.
wanted
Somebody's
to
gonna beat it soon, but you know,
not let them go to waste, and then look what
maybe.
came from it. Very good.
Yeah,
Very
and then I
good.
was able to add 4,025 smileys in 2025.
Wow, that's like a 4-year
That was the number
accomplishment
that I
for me.
wanted to get, so.
Well, very good. It's
Thanks.
been a good
So,
year.
what have you been up to?
Well, last month after our show, I went to nice holiday geocaching events. So I always enjoy those. And we had a New Year's polar bear plunge, which I always try to do. I haven't done it every year, but that's very fun to do on New Year's Day. And then on Sunday, it was my 20th geocaching anniversary.
Woo-hoo!
So went out and got a geocache to celebrate, of course, had an event. At the event, they got me an ice cream cake with a picture of me and my first cache find on it. So that was really
That's
sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, and I love ice
For
cream
my
cake.
first cache find, but
Yeah.
I'll celebrate that 20th anniversary later on this year at the end of December again.
I feel like there was like a surge, a 2005, 2006 surge. I know so many people hitting this milestone lately or coming up. So that's pretty cool.
It should be a big thing. So does that, I didn't bring it with me. you have it. I know you have yours. Does that mean we're going to see a lot of 365 challenges completed this year?
Maybe so. Maybe
Look at
so. So if you
that.
guys haven't heard, or if you saw our promo there at the beginning, this is our brand new coin. It is a sun catcher coin. And in the middle, we've got symbols for the 4 seasons. It says Geocache Talk Network on one side and geocaching 365-day challenge on the other side. So it's a great challenge coin. You can take this, I like this can be user specific. This can be a streak coin. This can be, I just filled my chart coin. However it works for you, you can celebrate now with this new coin. So as always, we have the link in our Etsy shop so that you can check that out and check out the other coins that we have currently.
Yeah, we got to bring that up on the screen. Where's my meat? Where's my thing? Find it. There you go. You brought it up. Okay, it's on the
For
screen.
Geocache Talk Shop on Etsy.
Yeah, you're good at doing that. And hey, the other big news of the day is I got a message about Cache Fest Savannah for 2026. It is going to be July 11th, and it's going to be in Savannah, Georgia. The GC code has been published. It is GCBFDWB. Just kind of rolls off the tongue. There you go. So, what you want to do is assuming you plan to attend, log your will attend. If you would like to know more about the event, log your will attend, because they will send you more information anytime that there's an announcement made. A lot of the things are still coming together on it, but it should be a fabulous time in the city of Savannah.
Savannah is amazing. I love it. So
And
if
we'll
you've
talk
never
about
been,
while you're there,
it'll
what
be
else you can
enjoyable.
do.
Yeah.
All right, so some quick numbers. 50,594 challenge caches in the world now. We went up 433 from last month. USA is at 19,427. And Alaska, we'll talk about them later in the show. They moved up 4 places with now a total of 91 challenge caches.
All right. I am so excited for Alaska. Yeah, we'll talk about that. And well done, Alaska geocachers.
Yep. Washington, D.C. moved up from the bottom. They now have 57. And poor old Delaware is last on the list, but they went up by 1 to 17.
Hey, good.
So there you go.
That's
all
great.
right. So how about we move into our topic?
I would
a couple
love
of guys sitting off stage.
Yeah.
That we should probably bring in and introduce
our captains.
Our captains, my captains. Captain John Grobe out of Georgia and Captain Mike Nowak out of Traverse City, Michigan.
Welcome, guys.
And there's a couple of caches.
Thank you for having us.
You guys can do, right? Is that why you're here?
That's what we hear.
You guys own the boats that help us non-boat owners.
Emily, I can't hear you.
Oh, no.
Oh, maybe
Tim,
turn your speaker up. I can hear her good.
I can hear everything that's going on. I just can't hear Emily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have her work on that. Anyway, as we look at July 2000 caches, that's the topic for the month. 2 of those caches require you to either be a semi-Olympic swimmer or charter a boat. And, I know that when we talk about Power Island, because I'm from Michigan, I get a lot of inquiries. I'm like, yeah, you could swim. As we talked before the show, the closest public access to the lake is 3 miles from the island. No big deal, just an easy swim. The non-public is about 1 mile. So a little bit less. I've done a mile swim when I was way younger than I am now. And quite frankly, I would never do it again. You can also take a kayak to Power Island. Again, you got a 3-mile paddle or maybe a 1-mile paddle. But as we'll talk about, you're talking about the Great Lakes. Weather is iffy. Conditions can spring up in a second. So tonight, we're recommending you talk to one of these two gentlemen to find out what they do and how they do it.
That's right. And I can you guys hear me? Any
Yes.
improvement from Captain Mike? I don't know what the problem is. We were great pre-show.
Emily is talking. Mike, can you hear her?
I can't hear Emily.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, Tim, you can pass my question.
I can hear
I'll
John.
pass your question along.
Okay.
John, everything's good with you, right?
Yes, sir. I can hear you guys great.
All right.
Okay, so crazy. So, yeah, and then John, we have heard one of our main co-hosts from Geocache Talk has talked about swimming in Lake Lanier, but also how it wasn't a perfect experience. So you are another great resource. And so we want to talk to you guys about how this got started. How did you become just a regular charter captain and start to have this geocaching side business? Who do you know? Who started talking to you? Who called you up and say, can I make my own charter here for the purpose of finding a box in the woods?
Mike, you go first.
Well, Mike didn't hear the question. So, John, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
You know, Mike, while he's talking, I'm going to drop you out and bring you back in again and see if maybe that helps.
All right. So I was working on getting my captain's license, and a gentleman was on a beach one day. Some friends of mine that had captain's license, we went out there for captain chat, and they would kind of quiz me on everything as I was learning to get my license. There was a guy out there, Captain Terry. He was out there. He was actually doing a low country boil, and met him. Turns out my best friend in high school and his dad were best friends. They both worked for the county fire department. So we became friends really quick. He called me up one day and said he had a proposition for me. I said, a proposition, that means money. He said, you're right. I'm going to call you. He said, you ever heard of geocaching? I said, I know it goes on the lake and I want to get involved in it. And he said, well, today's your lucky day. I'm the guy that does it. And I want to retire from doing it. And I want you to take it over. He said, I think you're the guy. And I said, awesome. So he called me out of the blue one day and we hopped on my boat and he took me around and showed me the route, how he had it all, how he handled it. And so I took it over and I had some people out on the water and I didn't know anything about geocaching. I just knew to take these people to an island right here and drop them off. And I had one guy come back one time and he about passed out on the boat. I said, can I give you a water or Powerade or something? He said, yeah. And he said, you know what we're doing? He said, have you found these? And I said, no. And he said, well, maybe you ought to go find them so you can understand what we're doing. I thought, well, that's a good idea. And so then I went out with my buddy and we found them the next day. We got back to the boat. I said, we got to find a better way. And so I went and found all the caches and I made sure that I know where they're at and the best beach to take you to get to it. You know, so you're not doing a lot of bushwhacking and all that stuff through the islands.
And this is because Marooned is the July 2000 cache that people really, really want. But Lake Lanier has multiple islands and multiple caches on these islands. And so you can give people a full-bodied experience depending on how long they charter your boat for, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Lake Lanier is a man-made lake, and the islands out there are just high spots in the land when it got filled up with water. And most of the caches are all uphill. Emily, you've been out, you know that. Mm-hmm. They're all at the top of the hill.
Yep.
I think every one of them. But yeah, and then that way, like I said, I know the best way so you won't go through the briars and all the hard way to get to it, you know.
Okay, well, and that's one of the things that is our goal is we want to provide our audience who hasn't gone after these caches, you know, what is the best way? What are the tips? What are the secrets? So Captain Mike, can you hear Emily yet now?
Unfortunately, I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm surmising what the conversation is about.
Yeah, so the question is how did you get started? What do you know about this game? Have you found the geocaches? Give us a little bit historical perspective on ambitious charters.
So, well, you know, I mean, I've been a charter boat captain for 20 years, and I was an operating charter boat in West Grand Traverse Bay. And I got a phone call from a gal in Wisconsin, and it was her and her daughter. And they said, can you take me to Power Island? And I said, I can, because I know right where that is, because that's where I drink every weekend. And I said, so what are you going to do? You're going to picnic? You're going to have a little, barbecue on what are you going to do? And she goes, well, we're going to go geocaching. I said, geo what? And, and I'm a pretty astute, I'm a diver, pilot, mariner, and I had not heard of that. And so she explained what it was, and I picked up on it pretty quickly. And she blogged about it on the geocache.com site on the Power Island page.
Cool.
And that's what started this very organic relationship that I've got with you folks. Yeah.
Okay. So again, for Power Island is GC35. Now, have you done some geocaching, Mike?
I personally have not done any
Okay.
geocaching
All
at
right.
all, which is
All right,
kind
so
of
we
odd.
we won't talk about the cache then. And John, you have done some
Well,
geocaching.
I've been over to the cache.
Okay,
I know
all
where
right.
the
Yeah,
cache-
yeah, I apologize. Mike can't hear me, so we might be duplicating a few things for him. But
Yeah.
when Mike takes you to the island, he gives you this is the best way to go, clockwise versus counterclockwise, and this is how long you need to do it. I will be back here to pick you up. And so he knows enough to give you tips about the island.
Yeah. So again, but Emily was just kind of going over your itinerary, Mike. So yeah, when I went out with Captain Mike, it was in 2016, and I basically did the same thing. I called him up, chartered the boat. I said I want to go out in the morning on this date, and he said fine. And I said okay. How many can we put on your boat? And he told me that he takes 6 people on his boat. And I had my wife and I that were going to go, and I put onto the geocaching message site that I got 4 seats on my boat. Who would like to go on this date, this time? Let me know. And they do. When Mike gets you to the island, and I guess that's one of the big differences between what Captain Mike does and what Captain John does. Mike only has to go to one place, so he takes you out in the morning, drops you off on the dock. And there is a sign on the island which kind of lays out the hiking trails, and he tells you this is what you want to do. It's approximately 2.5 hours to get around the island and get all of the caches. No, not anymore. What am I
No.
doing wrong?
So,
Uh-oh.
I mean, if you'd like, I'll tell
Sure.
you what
Fill me in.
what everybody gets. So the maps of the island that are on the internet are not complete. They don't have all the trails on the island, and they also do not address foliage or elevation. And so people show up with different plans of attack on how to get all the caches. The way we've structured this, and it's organic, the way we've structured the charter is that it's a 3-hour charter. It takes a half an hour to brief everybody and get to the island, 2 hours on the island, and a half an hour back. That's the 3 hours.
3 hours. So your 3-hour tour, but so far your minnow hasn't wrecked.
That's, yeah. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, right?
Yeah.
So the 2 hours that you're on the island, it really only takes, and a lot of this is statistically for when there was 5 caches on the island, which
Right.
would
Now
have been,
there's a lot more.
yeah, there's a few more now. But so far, everybody's still able to do it in the 2 hours. The average over 15, 16 years, whatever this has been, it takes about an hour and 45 minutes at human walking speed to go around the island, get all the caches on the perimeter, and make a quick little push up the hill for the high ground, where I believe it's Weird Tree is the cache at the top of the island. So and that leaves a little bit of a fudge factor, a 15-minute, kind of fudge factor. And I traditionally have used that to, extend the tour down into Traverse City and show everybody the marina and the waterfront and the beaches of our, fabulous community. And Traverse City is one of the top retirement and, tourism communities in North America.
Yeah,
we have a lot of fun.
and Captain Mike, you can't hear my compliment,
No.
but you give a lovely historical tour as well. So on your way out to the island, you're learning a lot, which totally enhances the experience.
Yep. So you got a big compliment, Mike. So just smile and nod. Thank you. And Marooned.
Well, wait, before you move on,
Oh.
Tim, I wanted to share with everyone there is now a Facebook group, GC. It's titled
yes, I meant to say
GC35 Power Island. And so people will book with Captain Mike and then either post on the cache page or in this Facebook group of when they're booked and how many more people they can invite to join them on the boat.
Yeah, and I know that geocaching.com would prefer people use the Facebook group because you're filling up the cache page with all these notes. However, there are some of us, me included, that do not use Facebook. So there are now 6 new Earth caches, 2 traditionals, and an adventure lab on the island that I do not have. I'm going to try to fix that this summer. So I need to go back. So I will do the same thing. I will post the date and time, or I'll look at the dates and times and see if I can find one. And I will book again with Captain Mike because it's a economically feasible way to get to the island. And yeah, Mike does a great job in historical information, and you're going to get there safe, and you're going to get back safely as well. The day we went out, beautiful morning. The afternoon was getting sketchy, and Mike came out with another group, and it started heavily raining as we were coming back. And I'm sure the other group got wet, but short of 6-foot seas, Mike has always been on running those charters, which is not true for kayaking, swimming, or even renting a boat. If the waves are up, they don't go out.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, a word about that, and all in the interest of safety. Really, I mean, the Power Island, Marion Island.
Yes,
and
it is
Power
right.
Island Park.
Right.
That it's a beautiful and unique resource, and we all promote it. We want anybody to see it and be there for any reason whatsoever. And people, talk about kayaking or canoeing out to the park, and I tell them, that is possible, but you don't get to choose when you go. Mother Nature, decides that. Some things to be aware of. The Great Lakes, and this is the 45th parallel. That water is very cold, and May, June, that water's 40, 50, 55 degrees, and if you get immersed in that water, you are in an emergency situation.
Yeah.
We do lose people in that water. It's a dirty little secret, but we do lose people in that water every year. The water temperatures in July and August are low 70s to mid 70s, and when the wind lays down, local people will get on their kayaks and paddle boards and transit the bay and get out to the island. The recommendation for kayaks, that water is big water, it's rough water, and polyethylene 10 and 12-foot boats, I would not recommend. If you're going to use a kayak to get out to that island, I would recommend a sea kayak with a skirt, in case you encounter heavier waters. So, just, keep those things in mind. If you're interested in renting a boat to, having a more independent approach, the west side of the island where GC35 is inhospitable to boats. A lot of rocks and gravel and shallow water that would tear that boat up something fierce, and you'd end up with a pretty good sized bill from a rental company start tearing up the boat. The other thing to consider too is that if you rent a boat and you arrive for your day and the wind's blowing 12 or 14 mile an hour, they're not going to give you the boat.
Wow.
So one of the things that I've prided myself in servicing your community over the years is that in the years that I've serviced your community, I've never canceled a charter or
All
whatever.
right.
And there's been twice where we've delayed 45 minutes and come in a strong front with lightning associated. That's the only thing that'll stop me from going out is lightning imminent or present. 5-6 foot waves. Yeah. Hang on.
We'll cut through them.
I relate this story every once in a while. And if you go back in the Power Island geocache.com logs, they actually posted a fun picture. It was a group that I picked them out and picked them up, and the wind was blowing solid 25, and it was a solid 3-meter sea. And while they were on that island, that wind picked up to 55 knots. And that 25-minute ride back took an hour and a half.
Wow.
With the boat totally awash in 6 and 7 foot seas.
Shoot.
And there was a fella and his wife sitting right across from me in the passenger seats of the boat, and she was terrified. She really was.
Wow.
And her husband, God bless him, he was, arm right around her, and he kept saying this to her. He says, "Honey, don't worry. Captain Mike is still telling jokes. If he stops telling jokes, then I'm gonna worry."
There you go. That's
Right,
perfect.
So, yeah,
That's
I mean,
perfect.
the one of the things that you guys do is you come from long distances and spend money and time to get here. And one of the things that I pride myself in is you take that kind of energy to get here. I'm going to get you there, literally hell or high water.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I don't have a super wide shot, but there's your boat. That's me and my mom when we went in 2024. So, and then once you're on the island, it's a walk to it, but it's a pretty simple cache to find, and you can see it's pretty big there too. So you can also see my red face from hustling around the island.
Yeah, it's a comfortable walk, but you have to keep moving in order to make it around. So you can't.
And we encountered a snake on the trail. We had to wait for that snake to move. So there's things you don't expect.
There are animals there, so so it's a good one. So
and one more, Tim, before we go, I have all of this in the show notes, but you can find Captain Mike at ambitiouscharters.com.
Yep, definitely want to emphasize the show notes tonight. There's probably a lot in there we're not going to get to, but let's go back to Captain John and tell us a little bit more about Marooned, and then there's your profile up there on the screen as well.
Yeah,
now.
CaptainJohnLanier.com, and Lanier is Lanier, Lake Lanier.
Right.
And Captain John, here's your boat. This was a charter that a group of us, after going caching, took, and here's the group that was on the boat. So that was a great day. And then also here's a picture of the cache, Marooned, that we went out to find. So yeah.
Well, it does look like it's on a hill, and so again,
it kind of is. Yeah, it was hilly terrain.
Yeah. So your capacity is 10 geocachers, right, John?
Yes. Hey, before we get started, though, Emily, Captain Mike's picture on my screen has a blue dot in the right-hand corner. I don't know if that's indicating something's on or off.
No, I bet that's a screen reflection.
Reflecting off the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that now, too. And somebody mentioned that in the chat early on that there was, and I didn't see it. So, probably just the way we light, but okay. But thanks for letting us know.
All right. But hey, so Marooned, GC20, everybody wants to get it. Just like Captain Mike, some of these people, this is a bucket list. I hear from these people, and then there's, oh man, plans changed. I've had people 3 years ago, it's like there was a 3-year window from the first time they contacted me to the time they finally got out.
Wow.
Things getting in the way, COVID happened, a lot of things like that. So I'm just like Captain Mike. I want to make sure you get out there, And this past summer, we ran into a situation where it got muggled. GC20, we got there and it was gone. And we looked and we couldn't find it. And so I called the owner and Lake Bum, and he replaced it. And then a week later, it was gone again.
Dang.
So, yeah, and that's so much history you can't get back. That's the worst part.
Oh, yeah.
The ammo can's nothing. But it made me think about it when I saw your picture, Emily, because we moved the cache about 100 miles west. Yeah,
100
about
miles or 100 feet?
how about feet? It's a long ride now. We moved it about 100 feet west.
Okay, I was going to say, we now put it in South Carolina, right?
It's a much longer boat ride.
Right? Need to charter a few more hours.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still there. It's great. I like taking people to it. I got some people coming from the Czech Republic at the end of this month. And I always enjoy, just like Captain Mike said, these people travel for miles and miles, and a little over 100 miles in Czech Republic. But anyways, he's coming, and looking forward to it. I just always like meeting these people from all over the world. It's really cool.
And it just dawned on me, one of the things that I guess we should talk about is you each have a window of opportunity when you can go get this cache. And I know, Captain Mike, we, here in Michigan, especially in the upper part of the state, we don't get snow and ice gone until early May, mid-May, maybe. And then, so how does your seasonality work? And then, John, I'm going to come to you for the same question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a combination of not only the weather, but the mechanics of, pulling boats in and out of the water every year. And in the case of Power Island, which is a county park, that dock gets removed during the wintertime and then put back in the spring. So all of those things factor to make the window for Power Island the third week in May till the third week in October.
Okay.
There's your window. I literally just took a messenger call from somewhere overseas for somebody wanting to come here and do this in February, and I'm like, you're not going to be able to do that. Yeah.
No, then now you're swimming, but
no, you're not.
because
you're not.
If you can swim, you're probably talking about 35 to 38 degree water, or you're trying to hop along.
Yeah, you jump in that water, you got 2-3 minutes, and then you're a news story.
And then John, now, Georgia, obviously a lot farther south, so you don't have to deal with ice and snow. But you got hunting season, right?
Yeah, that's the added challenge right there. So really, you can figure the middle of November to the last week of December, I think, is hunting season. It's a registered hunt. They know who's out there, and they're hunting with bows. And it's not everybody can get in. It's a lottery to get out there to start with. But the geocaching HQ there, they disable all the caches, and that's that you respect that you don't go out there on the islands and don't want to put people in the path of hunters.
Right.
Safety first. But we get bad water fluctuation though, from what the water is in the spring.
Yeah, you were telling us about that. I'll pop this picture up again for a little bit of reference.
Yeah. So that's yellow pole right there. And in the summertime, in the springtime, I'll pull right up to that pole that was in the background of the picture. Now, this time of the year in October, you see it, and it's a lot of times I'll nose right up to that, and you just stand on the boat and get that cache.
Oh, wow. You can get this pole from the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's the water fluctuation there. But, drought conditions, the water evaporation, all that stuff plays a factor in it. So right now, the water's low, that's for sure.
Okay.
Same with the Great Lakes.
Yeah, Great Lakes is down, but you can get up to the dock, right, Mike? You haven't had any trouble with that yet?
No, but
Okay.
it was getting dicey last year.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. We were at about 14 inches above low water datum last year at the end of the year. And if it drops another 8 or 9 inches and gets to low water datum, then, I might have to come up with other means. But there's been years where the dock wasn't even put in, and I always find a way.
Find a way to get it to the island. There you go.
And matter of fact, I had one person watch me, offload some people on, frankly, it was a log, and he saw me, swing the stern of the boat in with the drive up and catch this log with a boat. He's like, I've never seen that. I'm like, well, don't tell anybody. Hey, John mentioned, this is a little known fact, maybe. John mentioned that GC20 disappeared. GC35 also disappeared. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
GC35 disappeared. You'll have to excuse me. I don't have the data in front of me, but I'm gonna guess this was 4 years ago. And we took a group out there and it was gone.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and you know, that's a hard place to get to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
it
I
is.
couldn't
It's-
I couldn't for the life of me believe that somebody had done something like that on purpose. So I spent a few hours posting on Overhood and Leelanau, Overheard and Traverse City, Overheard, any social media I could get, kind of imploring people to, because I figured it was kids
Yeah.
that went for
Yeah.
a hike
More
on the
likely.
island and brought, hey, look what I found, kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
And then realized, so we replaced the cooler and the log.
Okay.
And the following spring, I think it was the second time we went out to the island, the original one was back with all the
Oh,
goodies in it.
wow.
Oh,
And
amazing.
which
So
was pretty
is
amazing.
Is
And
this the
that's
original?
also happened, I believe, with Paddler's Cache is on the south side of the island.
Mhm.
And at high water 3 or 4 years ago, that thing got carried right off the island, blew about 5 miles down to the Mission Peninsula, ended up on a socialite's lawn. She figured out what it was and
Wow.
showed up to Elmwood Township Marina and gave it to us to put back on the island.
Wow.
It was amazing. Like she had no clue what it was all about, but kind of figured it all out. It was pretty neat.
Wow.
Yeah, there's been some stories on that. I know in Europe that the coast of France, something will get washed away and it'll show up in Britain. And same kind of, I mean, we're a little closer, but same kind of story that
Right.
that happens when things are low. And we're not getting a lot of snow this year. We're not getting a lot of rain this year anywhere, in the country. And so, I suspect that boating is going to be a challenge going forward. And you talk about the low water datum, Mike, and just to reiterate and put that in geocaching terms, that's 100-year low point, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we are approaching 100-year low point in the water levels. So but we
Captain
definitely
John, was there anything we interrupted you saying about what your charter looks like? Because you mentioned you'll do, or maybe I mentioned it from our pre-show chatter, you'll do 1, 2, or 3 hour charters.
Right. Yeah. So, maroon, sometimes people just want to go out and get marooned, and that's just a 1 hour charter. And then I'll get them over there for Pirates of Mystico because I feel like those are the two you got to get.
That's a great one. Yeah.
And it's a 5.5 on top of that.
Mhm,
So it's, everybody wants that one. But
you played a little game of cat and mouse with us on that one where we thought we were going there. And then you were like, I don't know if I should take you guys there. We're like, we need it. We need this 5.5. So that was fun. That
the
was
name
fun.
of fun, right?
Yeah. Well, this brings me to a vivid memory of getting that cache. I felt like I was filthy. You guys have gorgeous boats, and we're filthy geocachers.
Hey, you tell
Captain Mike here. What do you guys? Thank you, and also, how do you deal with us?
For me on my
Oh,
boat,
that's right, Mike. I forgot. Mike can't hear it. So
yeah. Yes.
Mike, Emily is talking about us that we walk around the island, we play in the mud, we get dirty, we wear hiking boots, and we mess up that pretty boat for you. How do you handle that?
So, yeah,
Put it up on the trailer and hose it off.
Look, I have fun with that, right? When people show up to the boat, that boat is 30 years old. I'm the original owner, and it kind of looks like it's brand new because I, take Bristol care of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when people show up to the boat, their initial speech, I show them the boat, and then I tell them that this thing is built for, babes in bikinis. And then I look at this group And, there's just nothing to do except shake your head. But, the boat is a utilitarian boat. And I wash that boat before and after every time I use it, stem to stern.
Awesome.
And that's
Good.
how it keeps its condition. I do what I can to get the heavy rocks and grit off people before they get back on the boat. But the fact of the matter is, that's what you guys are all about. And I just accommodate
It's
it.
all about mud, blood, and critters.
Yeah.
Put it right
So,
on.
John, are
Yeah.
you doing something similar? Because of
It
us
comes
dirty.
all the stuff comes with the territory. If you don't want people on your boat like that, don't do the job.
All right. Well, thank you.
I do. So if you click to the one picture there, I think it explains it all. I got that milk crate you step off on right there. So you step on the milk crate, you see the towel.
Mhm.
I've got I used painter's tarps more recently and put the painter's tarps in there on the carpet all the way to the back of the boat. It snaps in. And then I got like doormats that you go have in front of your house. And I just keep in a broom, and I just keep sand is my big issue. So I keep the sand down. And as long as I sweep it out from time to time, everybody's always courteous and knocks their feet off. But as long as I'm sweep it down, it won't blow when I go across the water. Really,
Okay.
Great.
And
I've got a raw water wash down.
Yeah.
And when people are, before they get on the boat, I just show me
They
your
get a
feet and
bath.
I spray their boots off and hose them down. All right, you're good to go,
All right, we can get on the boat now. That's great.
Yeah. Ann Poe says nothing like Georgia red clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tim, can you repeat this for Mike?
Sure.
Both of you, you're going to have one point of contact who's booking this charter, and that person's responsible to come up with the contract with you guys. I say contract loosely, and then collect the money from whoever they invite, right? That's how this works.
Yeah. So again, for Captain Mike's benefit, you engage, I'll use the word engage rather than contract.
Yeah.
But you engage with one geocacher to book your date and time. And then you let them fill the boat however they want to. If in your case, we're going to go out for X amount of time, it's X amount of dollars, and you divide that up with your crew however you want to. And in the same way, John, I'm gonna engage with you, and maybe I pick a time, or can I tell you that I want as much as I can get, or I only want to go to Marooned, and then we work that out, or we say I want to do this, and then we get there and it's a beautiful day, and I say, well, can we really do this? And then we add on to it. But I'm going to engage with you, and then it's my responsibility to get the rest of the party, right?
Yeah. And I've found for the most part, by and large, geocachers are incredibly organized people. And usually there's one person on the boat, and they have an envelope if there's multiple parties, and the money's in the envelope or the payments, however, it's already set up, and it's awesome. I say geocachers are some of the best people on the planet. I'll say it every time.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we appreciate that.
Or a shorting or anything funky with a geocacher.
Awesome.
Ever.
Great.
Yeah, no, it's a great community of people.
Yeah.
Good.
And John, you've got your T-shirt on. You have T-shirts that people can buy to commemorate their experience.
Oh, you better stand up for that. Stand up for that one, John.
That must be a newer one. My T-shirt does not look like that, so
Yeah,
you have a new one now.
The new and improved one there.
All right, and hey, Mike, there's an idea for you. Get some more marketing involved here, and
well, I got to get an eye patch.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. I did the back of the shirt to make it look like a concert.
Oh, right.
On there.
Oh, very nice.
Cool.
I'm a kid from the 80s,
I love it. Very
Very
good.
cool.
I didn't like that.
Well, we knew that this was going to be a fun night with the both of you, and thank you so much for joining us. And you're welcome to stay as we talk about the rest. Unfortunately, there are now 5 more caches in the month of July that we have to talk a little bit about before we go further. So this is supposed to be a 1-hour podcast. I warned the executive producer that we were probably going to go long tonight.
Because this is a well worth it conversation. Yes.
This is awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So we'll talk a little bit about, and we're going to keep these real brief. They are in the show notes, some of our bullet points, but Tarryall is the next one up on the list, and it's in Colorado. No boat required.
No boat.
But it is in an 8,000 foot of elevation, so thin air becomes a little bit of a problem with this one.
Yeah, if that's affects you.
I
And
just
also,
got back from Colorado.
There you
Oh, yeah. Very good.
We
Check out
actually
this
have more
cache.
snow than they do.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, we
Oh
do.
my.
Funny. And so I took this one. We had a low clearance car. I got T-boned right before my trip. And so my little SUV was not on the trip with me, but our low clearance car did just fine. It was dry. I don't know if a wet season would have a problem of that. But once we got close enough, it was a simple enough walk over. This is classically an orange 5-gallon bucket. Can't miss it. They've made geocoins to represent this bucket. So this is your classic look for Tarryall.
Nice. And then GC40. This is our first non-US in the July timeframe. This one's in Belgium. It is east of Hoffé in off of N835. You can park on the side of the road, and it's about 200 feet away. It's a quick and easy find. I got some information again from our friend Poanne. She found it in June of 2024. So the only hard part here is you got to go across that big pond. And we can't charter either of you guys for that. Right?
Not for that one.
Oh, no, I'll take you.
Okay, all right, perfect.
You
I'll
best
book
better
a little
shoot
in
it.
advance for a deal
All
like
right,
that.
we'll
but
talk
oh, yeah.
offline on the rate for that one. I don't know if I can afford it. We'll do that.
That's great.
The next one up, we'll go back to Colorado, and it's GC19. This one's up even higher. It's 11,421. And as we have snow here in Michigan, again, the snow in Colorado, this is probably a mid-May to mid-October that you want to get this one. It's the second oldest in Colorado, and this came to us from GeoVet 91 that she's been there. If you park at the recommended parking, it's about 0.8 of a mile. Uphill, a lot of switchbacks. It's a fairly easy walk, but you're dealing with very thin air. So
Right.
even the fittest people, you want to be careful about that. Day use fee, 2025, it was $10. We'll see, how that will change over the year.
Yeah, and she sent us some gorgeous photos of the
this is-
scenery that they saw on the way there and while there. Love this. We got wild cows in the road. And then here are
How now,
some
brown
pictures.
cow?
Yeah. And these are some pictures they took of their adventures when she said no spoilers. So I having not been there, I don't know how close this is to ground zero, but this is some scenery picture. And she used that picture to inspire one of her path tags. So that was really neat. So thanks for sharing your experience, Laura.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate that. Now, GC17, Emily, this is in your town. This is in Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so this one, we have some parking coordinates in the show notes where I parked, and it was it was an hour-long steady uphill. So my parents and I wouldn't say we're marvelously fit or unfit, and we just slow and steady and got up there in an hour. It's gorgeous. You might have a view of Mount Hood if it's a good day, but we did not. And it's just a simple, you can see I found that a long time ago. But yeah, simple, good find and a lovely romp in the woods.
Yeah, now you found that in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was a bit ago. So our last one for tonight is GC23. And for those of us that were fortunate enough to go to Cache Fest last year, I just talked to so many people who had gone and done this one. I went with friends. We planned our trip. We went and got it. It is Hawaii's oldest. Now this is mostly downhills. It's a lot
really?
of switchbacks. Yeah, from where you start. So you kind of start at a higher elevation and you switch way you're down, and then as you near the cache, you start switching your way back up. And as you approach the cache, you get within about 90 feet, and it's a fairly vertical up. And the cache page tells you do not go up. Well, a friend of mine did go up and made it. And I looked at that, being the old guy, the old fat guy that I am. I'm like, I'm going to take the trail around. So I took the trail around and I came down to get the cache and signed the log. And I'm now, okay, I was about a third of the way down the hill. And I looked and I went, do I go down or do I go back up and around? So I went the down route, and it is sandy. There are leaves from the fall. I got my shoes full of stuff. But I just sat and emptied them back out, and then we took the hike back. So
Very nice. Very nice.
yeah, it is a bit of a hike, and the Cache Across America is in the same park. But it's a fairly big hike if you're going to do both of them on the same day. So those are two there.
All right, that's great. And we have a comment about Terrial. Hiking Sale says for 2025 Geo Rendezvous, they had an event at Terrial and handed out baby orange buckets for
look at
swag.
that.
So that's
no
fun. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so that comprises very quickly our July 2000 caches.
Yeah.
And what do you got from B&J Bish?
So Jen said Brad made it out to GC23 in Hawaii.
Okay.
Oh, Jen, I got stuck in a rotisserie spin, falling in the mud, not able to get up. My treadbare shoes and I waited at the trailhead. That's a good memory too. That's a good memory.
That is so much fun. So,
oh, wow.
We had our mega in Hawaii, so now the rest of you are on your own. So,
that's right. So coming up next month, August of 2000 caches, and as you can guess, in the following months, other 2000 caches. So if you have a special story or a piece of knowledge about any of these caches, let us know, and we'll share what we can on the show.
All right. So I guess then it's time for the Wheel of Challenges.
All right, let's do it. Let's play a game.
Woohoo. All right. So do you want to introduce this one?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. So.
Oh, Mike's back. Hi, Mike.
Mike's back.
You guys like Houdini.
All right.
I just refreshed everything. I can now hear Emily.
Oh, finally.
I
Good.
just went through everything.
All right, now that we're done.
No.
Better late than never.
Now you can hear us
Yeah,
play a game. That's great.
Yep,
So
we're
get your
gonna move
email
into our
app.
Wheel of Challenges game.
Yeah. Get your email app ready. One live viewer each month will be selected to face off against the wheel to have a chance to win the grand prize, which is a 1-year membership on Project GC. And for captains, if you don't know, another aspect of us geocachers is we have statistics about everything we have found. And I have to say, statistics about myself are pretty darn awesome. So they challenge us and they are really fun to show our journey in all kinds of different ways, graphs, numbers, whatever. So this Project GC website where we're giving a prize to is one of the premier statistical websites where you can run your data through and have some interesting information. So to enter, send an email with the subject line "spin me" as well as your geocaching username in brackets with your answer to this question. And reminder, email it to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com. So your question this month is, how many July 2000 caches are available to find in the world? And I will go to the email. Two? Just two? Just two with boats. Just two with boats.
One in Michigan, one in Georgia.
As far as we're concerned.
As far as you're concerned, right? There are two that matter. Well, we had asked you guys before the show if you guys have ever met, and you haven't. So this is the first time you're in the same room. And, I asked you if people bring up one or the other to each other while they're on their tours. And yes, the answer was yes, right? So people are talking about you guys to each other.
All right. All good people, too.
That's great.
And I
They
know
are
they're
good
saying
people.
good things.
Yes. Yes. Very
All
good.
all I can
All
say
right.
is I probably got a thicker coat than John, at
No
least
doubt
this
about
month.
that.
All right. Well, we
When
have our
were
first
officially-
correct answer, and that is from Poan of Georgia, who knows
Oh!
about Georgia Red Clay and Lake Lanier. So let's get that wheel of challenges and spin it.
So the answer was 7.
Oh,
Correct?
thanks, Tim. Yeah, everyone should
the
know.
official-
But you
the
know what?
official
I'm
answer
seeing
is
a
7.
lot of correct answers, so
Oh, okay.
you guys knew that.
They knew, and Annie is such a oh wait, no, we need to give her the 5, not the 2 and a
Oh,
half.
2.5
Oh
difficulty.
man, I could probably
GC245
qualify.
FE. Sometimes it is all about the numbers challenge. So, Tim, what's this one about?
Oh, this one's in Illinois, and I actually have found this one. All right, so in order to qualify, you must have done one or more of the following 4 things: find 100 caches or more in one day, find 150 caches or more in 1 week, 300 caches in a calendar month, or 2,500 in a calendar year. And this is a 30 difficulty, which the scale on difficulty for our captains goes from 1 to 100, 100 being really hard. So this one's not hard.
And this is that statistical website that you can check. Do I qualify for this challenge?
So we run a checker, and again, I will be dumbfounded if she does not
Right?
qualify.
Yes, of course,
Probably.
Poan
Oh, yeah, so
qualifies for
look at
one.
this. So this checker gives you the yes. She found 137 in one day. She has found 150 in the week. She has found 591 in a month and 4,327 in a year. So she
Wonderful.
makes all 4 grids. So congratulations, we have a winner.
Congratulations. Yay, we'll be in touch with that prize. Very good. And let's talk about our monthly challengers. Every month we give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. So again, with our email, remember you can send yours into challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com because we want to know what you've been up to, and it's really inspiring to us and others. So we'll share first from Canuck 1867. This is GCAPVEW, the 100 favorite points not chosen size challenge. And this is to find caches with the not chosen size with favorite points that add up to 100 or more. And she says, I've been struggling to find a way to search out not chosen caches. All I had to do was enter some qualifying cachers with high find numbers and a list would be generated. And then she would have to do some bookkeeping, but she would figure out which ones were not archived and less than 1,000 miles away. So she was using other people's finds from this checker to create her own list of to-dos to qualify for this one. So
Yeah, so we'll
well
probably
done.
talk about that in a month or two, is how do you find not chosen as a size, since it's not something you can search on anymore.
Yeah.
It's not something you can even place anymore. So these have
Right.
to be historical caches.
Right. So this is a unique challenge in that way. So well done. Congratulations on doing that.
All right, number 2 comes from Gary of the GBs, and geez, there's a guy that's really challenged obsessed.
Every month he's sending us giant lists. So I searched through this giant list and picked just one to share. And this was GC9K D6K, a questionable fizzy challenge. So Tim, he's kind of like you, where he is filling in a fizzy with all unknown cache types.
Yep.
And so for our captains, all these caches have difficulties. Like John, you said the 5-5. And so there's 81 different combinations, and he filled it in with all unknown type caches. So congratulations.
Way to go. And then from Dune Buddy, we have 8 icons in 12 months. GCB 20J3. So yeah, there's a picture on the screen. So it is finding the 8 cache types across all 12 months. Doesn't have to be in the same year, but it just has to be in a different month
Mm-hmm.
of the year. So a little bit easier, but it still maintains a 70
Oh, wow.
on the challenge scale. So that's a pretty tough challenge.
Yeah, and he said he found the cache back in March, then started filling in all the missing icons, mostly where it goes in letterboxes. So yeah, it gave him some purposeful geocaches to go after.
Yep. So again, eight different types, and if you're a well-rounded cacher, probably not a hard thing. But if you like to focus on traditional or unknown or multis, then you might be some work to do.
Yeah. So our next one is from Hiking Seal, GCAX5XN, Traditional Everyday Challenge, and GCANXBE, Micro Everyday Challenge. And those are obviously what they are in their title. And she said, I was pretty excited to finish two challenging calendar filling challenges in the past month. On December 26th, I found the last traditional cache needed. 2 days later, I got my last micro for the other one. If it hadn't been for a broken leg, I would have finished both last year. In February, I'll finish small and regular every day, but don't have any local challenges to sign. So she's asking if anyone knows of any challenges that exist for a small everyday or regular everyday, let her know. Because so far she hasn't found anything on Project GC. And she says, as a ski instructor, having the time to cache in the winter can be challenging, pun intended, and being able to work on the calendar challenge is the only good thing about the low snow in the past year. So yes, the weather affects everything, right?
It does. All right, from Sims Quest, we have an eventful day challenge, GC3YKAX. And this is to attend 6 events in one day. And I've only got 4. This requires some very special planning.
Yes, and she told us the story about that, how 9 local cachers hosted 9 events on New Year's Day. So it took planning and coordinating, and she says, shout out to Emily Jen for the organizational skills. And they followed all rules in terms of distance and timing and had a fantastic day with many familiar faces trekking across 3 states.
Yeah. We've done something similar. I don't know if it was 6 in a day, but my best is 4 in a day. So
yeah. She also told us about a new challenge trail in Maryland that got published on Christmas Day. So whenever we hear about these new challenge trails, we're adding them to that master challenge trail or geo art document that we've got. And that's always at the end of our show notes for you guys to check out.
all right. And this is one of the, this is, I guess, more of a beginner challenge that Birkenstock reports. And then one of the new ones in Alaska, it's Alaska Challenge number 13, the social butterfly.
Yeah.
And now this one changes a little bit because you can only use events that occurred after 2013. So again, some caches, you go back early. This is one that's later. It's designed for people that are newer into the game. And qualifying events are regular events, mega events, and cash in, trash out events.
Yeah, and she told us that when she signed this in September, she thought it would be years before she qualified. Then she took Memphis Mafia's idea of hosting a coffee meetup each week to help keep a streak alive, which got her to the 25 events, 17 of which were her own. So she appreciates that inspiration from Memphis Mafia. And this is where we also have her update about those Alaska Challenge numbers shooting up. So the trail now has, as of I checked yesterday, 61 published caches, and I thought this was a neat angle on something they had to do. The one that, or two neat ones. The one she's most excited to see published is the Find Alaska Outside, which is a challenge where you have to find caches in states that, when added up, make up the total square mileage of Alaska. So that's a pretty fun angle on statistics. And also, because she couldn't hide challenges based on Jasmer, their unqualifiable response to that was hiding Alaska governor's challenges. So, for example, you have to find a challenge based on the dates of a specific governor's tenure in office. So a neat way to do dates. There's always something creative to figure out and create a cache around. So well done, Alaskan cachers.
All right, and our final one for tonight is from our friend Kitty Catch down in Australia. This is GCBFWX2. This one was placed in November. And this is have previously found or logged virtual caches in the 25 different South Australian LGAs. The LGA, I think, is their
local government
county
area.
There you go, local government area. I missed
Yeah. Yeah, and she said South Australia is a big state with 71 counties, and there's only 74 virtuals in the state. And she has 21, so she needs 4 more to qualify. And what she said, because she hasn't actually qualified yet, but she says, I need to plan another trip. It's great to have these challenges to work towards, but they've shifted her game. It's not enough now to find just one cache to claim a county. She needs to try to find as many different types as possible. So I know some people already have that on their radar to like diversify wherever they go. And these challenges have certainly given her that inspiration.
Awesome. And we also want to recognize the Cheeky Brit, of course. He was another submitter for December, and as well as our friend Bloody Cool out of Maryland. So thank you guys for submitting some more challenge caches. We had plenty for tonight. We thought we were going to run long. We have run long. And so
in a good way.
trying to go as quick as we can, but provide as much. But did we have a winner?
We have a winner, and we're not going to forget to say this month, our winner this month for the Challenge Talk Path Tag is Hiking Seal. So congratulations. Be in touch about that. All right, captains, this has been a great show. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm glad to host you guys together for the first time. Any closing thoughts that you have, something you wanted to say that we didn't get to tonight?
Mike, you first.
Oh. Well, I mean, the thing that comes to mind is that the geocache community and I have this really organic and fruitful relationship, and I value you guys and take very seriously the commitments you make to get to Grand Traverse Bay, and I take the commitment to get you guys out there very seriously, and I'll continue to do that until I can't.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. And you didn't get to hear my compliment live. Again, thank you. You give a great tour. You're not just a to and from guy. You give a great history lesson on the way out there. You're very dynamic and interesting. And so thank you for a great tour.
Well, I enjoy it. I enjoy you folks.
Great.
John?
I think I'm just like Captain Mike. I just want to be on the water and you guys get me out there. That's for sure. The geocache community, I do training, on-water training, teach people how to drive boats, and I do charters. And I always say that everything I do is because I learned it from whomever, what have you. And geocachers will always, I don't charge a deposit. I don't any prepay, any of that stuff, because you know who's going to be there every time is a geocacher.
Awesome.
You count on geocachers. They're just the best people. That's the whole culture of geocaching. We just made our reservations for Bamarama last night. We're definitely going down there for that. This will be our third time down there. We like going down there.
Awesome.
The people, geocachers, the people, awesome.
I agree. I think everyone here in our live chat and listening later will agree with you that our community is top notch. It's a special place. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you guys are a special part of it. So you got your reputation. I'm in your clubs. I tell people you got to get in their clubs. Sorry, John, I cut you off there. What were you going to say?
Hey, just real quick. So Poe Ann, she's been on my boat before, and she got a geocache, and she had to climb a hill, an embankment at the lake. And she'll tell you too. She said, and you tell anybody, if they say they can't do it, I did it.
Poe Ann has done a number of things that the average geocacher would not do.
I have no doubt in my mind.
But she was inspiration for me for diving in Tennessee one time to get the damn cache. And she learned how to scuba dive, took her instructor out, and got that damn cache. And so as a scuba diver, I had to go get that damn cache too. So and
Awesome.
these are what give us stories. I mean, when you guys take people out on your boat, these are stories that we create that everyone knows these year 2000 caches. And so it gives us a base where we have instantly something in common with somebody else. And if they haven't been to Power Island and they ask me about it, I can readily tell them, you
Mhm.
know, contact Captain Mike. Boom, here's where you find him. Boom, do this. This is how you do that. Great. And I've also had other cachers that wasn't it great going out with Captain Mike. And I'm sorry, John, I can't say the same thing.
No,
But
it's true. It's true.
you know, it gives us that commonality that
Yeah, and here's a great comment from GeoVet. She's the gal who sent in those pictures from Colorado. I met Captain John some years ago. Thanks for Lake Lanier and my Jasmer completion. So, I mean, you guys, I don't know if you know the word Jasmer. This is what we're out there doing. We're working on our Jasmer quest, and you guys are essential parts of it, and then memorable parts of it. So
yeah,
it's amazing. Thank you. That's a perfect sentiment.
yeah. So that is great. So that's it for tonight.
That's
Our
it for
next show.
tonight. Yeah, but our next show will be the second Tuesday, February 10th.
And let's see the other. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not going to go there. So I'm going to do the other part, which is the show notes will be posted shortly after the show airs in the video description, and it will be linked in the podcast description.
All these links, you can find
All these
everything
links.
there. Yes.
Yep, the caches are linked. Captain Mike is linked. Captain John is linked. You can get everything you need in there. And you know what? I'm going to take an extra minute, and I want to talk about Patreon. I want to personally thank everyone that helps support the Geocache Talk Network. We don't talk a lot about Patreon on this show because we're part of the Geocache Talk Network. But if you like what we do and you want to support what we do, we give away a lot on this show. In fact, we're one of the shows that gives away a ton for the Geocache Network. So we need your financial support for the network. And so you're supporting Puzzle Talk, you're supporting Challenge Talk, you're supporting the Geocache Talk Network, caching with kids when it comes up, the Gadget Talk, all of these things, your help supports us. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you for
Yes,
what you do
absolutely.
for
Thanks
us.
for making us happen because we love being here. And if you see us out and about, remember to say hello in that special way. We might just have something for you.
Maybe challenge,
Accepted.
or completed.
We answer to both.
Thank you for
maybe not
watching.
Tim.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Remember, it is not about the numbers. It's about the challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Good night,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys. Thanks for being here with us. Good night.